Today we look at my pedal board, or what some people call the T-1000. Hey guys, so I've gotten some requests for me to show my current pedal board, which is the one I use for all my studio session work, and also live in my current hard rock project, Lost Elysium. A little bit of a backstory. It got the nickname from a couple of different musicians while I was playing out, called the T-1000, Terminator reference from Judgment Day. And they said it looks like it'll get up any minute and start hunting for Sarah Connor. So I thought it was a cute little nickname, and that's why I'm keeping it. What we'll do is we'll go to a clip of me running the pedal board through a Traynor YCV50Blue combo amp. It's got a 12-inch Celestion Vintage 30 in it. And that's being mic'd up with an SM57 by Shure. And then we'll go through what's actually making it tick and the signal chain. And then what we'll do is I'm going to show a different clip of me actually going direct in to my interface using Positive Groove's amp simulation. The guitar I'm using is a ES335 Studio from Gibson with a single bridge pickup, which is a Gibson Dirty Fingers. Enjoy. Hey guys, now that you've heard a little bit of what the board can do, let me show you the ins and outs and what the signal chain is. So I go from my guitar directly into the Ernie Ball VP Junior. Then I go all the way over here to the Slash Wah. I've owned a couple of Wahs, but this one always wins out. I've had Crybabies, the Kirk Hammett Wah, and Vox Wah. But somehow this always wins out, so it stays on the board. And then from there I go directly into the effects looper. And what this does is it helps save my signal. So I don't have to worry about a signal going from each pedal now. Now it just goes from here. And what it'll do is it'll go straight out unless I connect a pedal. So say I turn on this pedal, turn it on, and then all of a sudden it'll go like this. Go into it and then come back. So it helps save it a little bit. Now with the signal bypass, that's the first switch over here. The great thing about that is if I bypass it, any pedal that's on shuts off. So I'll pretty much get a clean signal because the amp I always use the cleans and I use distortions on the board. Next is the tuner, and that I can also use as a bypass if I wanted to, but the tuner will set it up so no sound comes out. The bypass will just give me the clean sound from my guitar. Next is the Boss Blues Driver. I love this pedal. I love the low gaininess of it. It's always a secondary for me. If my other distortion pedal goes down, I can always throw the gain up on this and make that my main workhorse for the evening. But my main pedal that I use about 85% of the time is my full tone OCD version 4 pedal. What you see here is pretty much how I have it set up all the time. And then from there, I go through Mod Tone Clean Boost. I love Mod Tone. I don't say that just because I'm endorsed by them. I've been using them we're going on like 7 years now, and you'll see a couple more pedals on the board from them. Then I go to the Sentry Noise Gate from TC Electronic. That is I have that on 24/7. The only time I don't have it on is if I want a lot of feedback. If I want a lot of feedback, I'll shut that off and then I'll get tons of it. Then from there I go to the Pog 2, the Polyphonic Octave Generator from Electro Harmonics. I usually have that hooked up to a delay and I use my volume pedal to swell it. And that's great because you can make a cool little like organ sounds or string sounds with it. And I love making my guitar not sound like a guitar. Next is the Ibanez Airplane Flanger. I've owned probably 6 or 7 flangers. This is my favorite one. I love the amount of controls I have on it, and then it also has a takeoff switch. And what the takeoff switch does, it sort of makes it sound like a whammy dive bomb or something. Since I use pretty much hollow bodies exclusively from Gibson and Epiphone, I don't have a whammy bar or a Floyd Rose or something. So I'm able to hit this and make it sound all like wibbly wobbly really quickly, and then I can always shut it off and have it set up directly just for a regular flanger again. And from there, we go to the MXR stereo chorus. It's the only chorus I use now. I actually own 3 of them right now, just in case one goes down, because that's how important this is to my live rig. Almost all my cleans I use this because I love how it makes everything sound. From there, tremolo, and it does the job. I don't know any other. I've had like 2 or 3 other tremolo pedals, and they sort of do exactly the same thing. And I love Mod Tone, so I will always stick with them. Why would I go with anybody else? And then from there is a vintage analog delay from them, from Mod Tone. I have had a couple of analog delays, and the biggest headache of them is that they take up too much space. So the 2 smallest ones I found is this one and the MXR carbon copy. But this one always stays on the pedal, and somehow my carbon copy just stays on the shelf. This always wins out for some reason. And then from there, it leaves the effects looper, and the out of the looper goes into the TC electronic flashback delay. Now, the big reason this is not on my the effects loop is because this has a stereo out, so I can go out to 2 amps at the same time. Since I'm usually the only guitarist in the band, I'm able to go to 2 separate amps and have a left and a right that sound tonally a little different, so it almost sounds like there's 2 different guitarists. Some things that some people have seen is I used to have a reverb pedal on my pedal board that was a mod tone reverb. I don't really need it because every amp I have now has a reverb on it. I exclusively use Traynor amps live, and they have real spring reverbs on there, so I don't really have to worry. I don't have to worry about a circuit breaking on it. And then the other one was a mod tone phaser pedal. I love the phaser, but in the studio I could just bring it with me. But live, the flanger does roughly the same thing as the phaser, and I only use the phaser for 1 song right now. So I use the flanger for like 3 or 4, so I would just stick with this one right now. And then the other thing that you can see is being powered by 2 Voodoo Lab Pedal Power 2 Pluses, and I'm using almost every single power supply they have except for 2. So, and I have one power the other one, and then the other one goes into an extension cord that goes to my power conditioner. So I never have to worry about anything happening to the board. Because if this thing goes down, it's a bit of a headache. I mean, 90% of the songs are just distortion that I use, but the other 10% is lots and lots of effects. So stay tuned, and you'll be able to hear another little snippet of music using the pedal board. Rock on.